Well, good morning. Today I want to talk to you about ships, airplanes, goals, and you. You know, it's an interesting thing that if you were able to land maybe by helicopter on a ship that was way out in the ocean and you asked the captain, "Where are you going?" Wouldn't it be interesting if the captain said, "Well, I don't know. We're just kind of sailing." And yet that's the way most people are when it comes to goals. You know, that ship's captain knows exactly what port he's headed for before he ever leaves his home port. And he knows the exact direction that he needs to set on his compasses, his course. He knows exactly the course that he needs to go to. And the chances of him arriving at the port, even though it might be all the way around the world, are almost 100%. There's very few ships that sink. We just had one that sank recently in the Caribbean, but it's very rare that a ship sinks, and it's even more rare, or at least as rare, that a ship doesn't arrive at its port. Why is that? Because the captain knows exactly where he's taking the ship. He knows exactly where he wants to go, and he knows how he's going to get there. And he's assembled all the tools that he needs to get there. He has a ship, he has a crew, he has an engine, he has compasses, he has computers, and all of those things. And you know what? Sometimes when the ship is on its way to Hong Kong or wherever it might be going, it might be blown off course. It might have engine trouble and have to pull into a port. One time when Debbie and I were on a cruise ship, somebody on the ship had a heart attack. And so we had to pull in. We left from Jacksonville, Florida. We had to pull into Miami to let this man off the ship for medical care. And then we had to set a new course because you can't just keep the same course. So you can't set a goal or a course and expect that everything's going to go smoothly. You have to have goals or plans in life that include the possibility that something will happen. You might get sick, you might have something happen, the company you're working with might go out of business, all kinds of things can happen. But if you've got a course set for where you want to go and you're able to adjust your course, you can get there. So just like a ship, you need to have a destination that you're headed toward. You need to have clearly defined written goals. I found that a lot of people that I talk to, probably the majority of people that want to be successful in business, if you ask them, do you have written, clearly defined, step-by-step goals? Most people say no. They've got some vague ideas in their head that they'd like to be successful, they'd like to make a lot of money, or they'd like to have a better life, but they haven't really detailed it. They haven't set it down. They haven't put a course in place, and also they haven't got detailed steps as to how they're going to do that. What tools are you going to need to be able to do that? Well, in business we have all of that. Another example is an airplane. You know, if an airplane takes off from Los Angeles with wanting to go to New York City, if that airplane is off just 1 degree, it won't end up in New York City. And the farther it travels, the further away from its destination it's going to be. So we have to be wise enough to set a course, decide where we want to go, lifestyle-wise, income-wise, and so forth, and then be able to adjust that constantly to make sure that we're on course, because as life goes for all of us, we get off course and we need to adjust to get back on course. What we don't do is quit. The ship going from the United States to Hong Kong doesn't have a little storm or doesn't have a problem and then say, oh, forget it, we're not going to go anywhere, we're just going to stay here in the middle of the ocean. No, they're going to continue on till they get to the course. So we need to do that in our life too. We need to have clearly defined written goals. I make goals 5 years and 1 year, and then of course the other thing you have to do is you have to refine those goals down so that it becomes a monthly goal, a weekly goal, and a daily goal that you've laid out the day before you even start the day. You know, if you want to lose a lot of weight, just to give an example, I've lost about 50 pounds, but you can't lose 50 pounds today. So if you want to lose 50 pounds, you know what? If you divide that by 52 weeks in the year, then you only need to lose less than 1 pound a week. And you know, it's hard to lose 50 pounds, but it's not hard to lose 1 pound a week. You can do that by cutting out a few things in your diet, adding a little extra exercise or whatever. So achieving big goals is easy when you have the step-by-step goals that are already set out for you each day. So be prepared. Don't ever let anything stop you from where you want to go. You can only fail in your business when you quit. So if you don't quit, just keep going, adjusting your course. When you fall down, you get back up. I heard on television the other day that some people when they fail, it's a splat, and other people fail, it's a bounce. Be a bouncer. You know, when you fall down, get back up. You know, you can fall down 100 times as long as you keep getting back up. You know, this fits into the category of what's been an obsession with my life, and that's to live life on purpose. Most people fail in this world. I mean, by failure, I mean they get to 65 years old or 70 and all they have is Social Security. Oh, that's a tragedy that they lived in the greatest country in the world during a great economic time when everything was possible, and yet what happened to them? Well, they just watched television every day. They lived in a rut. They were like a dead fish that floats downstream with no course in mind, just floating through, getting up every day, going to work, coming home, watching TV, go to bed, get up and do it again. Don't let that happen to you. I certainly don't want it to happen to me. Think about this. Life on purpose. Have purpose in your life, have direction in your life. Decide, in my case, I want to glorify God. I want to start every day with my wife with devotions and in God's Word, and just commit the day to Him that we might build up and edify and show the love of Christ to everybody that we meet. But if you'll do that, you'll not only deliver yourself, but you'll also be someone who can serve others and help others to get on course too. Life on purpose. Let's do it. Set your goals, write them down, have goals that you can adjust and change as you need to, and you'll have life on purpose and a great destination. Have a great day in life.